Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everyone. How are you? Boy, can I tell you how happy I am to see you? It's been a day already. I realize it is 9:30 a.m. where I am, but it's been a whole day already. Have you ever had those? Yeah, that's all right. We're here now. All is right with the world. Yay. Just in case we haven't met yet, my name is Chris Acton with Acting Creative, and this is Live at the Loom. Every Thursday, we gather online in our beautiful virtual space just to hang out and talk weaving and life and whatever important topics we can solve. Yeah, that's what happens right here. Everyone, please say hello to our fabulous gatekeeper, Lori, who is making sure that we have a wonderful, safe space here online, and that we have a good time. And I see so many of my wonderful regulars. Hello, Carrie and Connie and Jennifer. And Alex. Alex is our official sponsor of the mug warmer right there. See it, the mug warmer right there. It's working great. Thank you so much, Alex. Ernie is in the middle of a bathroom remodel at his son's house. So that means you're still in Ernie, I always want to say you're in Arizona. That's not true, though, is it? Are you in Texas? See, I know you're west. Wait, that direction. Let's see who else joined us today. We've got Gemma's here. Hi, Gemma. How are things going? Let's see. Oh, you guys coming in strong. Hello, Carol. How are you, my friend? And Cindy is on. And Lillian is here. Look at coming out in droves. This is so fun. Yep. Let's see. Emily's here. Hello, Emily. How are you? Hi, Sue Ann. I got all my stuff in the mail, Sue Ann. I promise. Sue Ann helped me with the weaving pen pal program, which was a blast. If you participated in it, I hope that you are got your things in the mail and you're hopefully starting to get some of your responses from your pen pal. So fun. I love stationery, so it is all good. Let's see. Boy, you guys, this is amazing. I love seeing all the bright shiny faces. Hello, Karen Crocker. And Ellen is on, and Maureen is here. Maureen's in sunny Nashville. Maureen, that's not your usual post. That's so fun. Are you traveling? You do mean Nashville, Tennessee, right? Not Nashville, Indiana. Right? Yes? Hello. Let's see who else is joining us. Hi, Deborah. Hello, hello. Jody Ibarra is on from Cotton Clouds. Woohoo! Jody. Oh, Jody is our official kind of a yarn person for the Weave Along. We're going to talk a lot about the Weave Along. Don't you worry. Today, that is going to be the theme, the Weave Along. Yeah, Ernie's in Flagstaff, Arizona. He is in Arizona. Thank you, Ernie, for the reminder, right? Oh, let's see. Wait. What is this, Emily? I'm without a kitchen or laundry room or loom, but surviving. Emily, how does that work? How are you without a kitchen or laundry room? Are they like redoing the plumbing or renovating or something? Ooh, that sounds like a challenge, my friend. You understand then. Let's see who else is joining us. Hi, Nikki. Right? Nikki said she forgot today was Thursday. Ooh, you and me both, sister. It is. Believe me, you are not alone there, Nikki. I feel you for sure. There we go. Oh, Gemma. Oh, good. She got her package sent. Excellent. Okay, good. I'm so happy. Hi, Sam. Snowy and cold in Southwest Ontario. Don't you love that? The first official day of, is it considered spring now, right? Right? Yesterday was the equinox, so it's now officially spring. My flowers think it's spring, that's for sure. Yes, Oh, here we go. Emily's having her floor replaced. It's been 2 weeks and won't be done until April 3rd. Oh, sister, that's a long time. It's a long time without a kitchen or laundry. Yeah. Hello, Priscilla. Oh, Maureen's on a girls' trip. Okay, Maureen, you get the gold star for being the most loyal. You're on a girls' trip and you still popped in for Live at the Loom? Look at you. Such dedication. We'll take it. We're with you, Maureen. Dawn Miller is on. One of our Dawns. We have a couple Dawns. We love that. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Carol says 2 days ago was the equinox. Yesterday was the first full day of spring. Okay, thank you for clarifying. Thank you. I appreciate that. Cindy says our fourth grandbaby is being born today. Cindy, that's so exciting. Do you don't know the gender yet. That's so see, congratulations, Cindy. That is amazing. Yes, here's what you should know, friends, is that our girl Lori, the gatekeeper, see right here, she can post on both. This is YouTube and this is Facebook. Look, she magically, technology is amazing. She can put one comment that shows up in both places. So there are times you'll see it's acting creative. It's not actually me responding. It's our girl Lori. She is keeping us entertained and safe there in the back room for sure. Hello, Michelle Stark. Rain, sleet, and snow ridden Amherst, Nova Scotia. Okay, Michelle, that doesn't sound like a fun day, my friend. As long as you're inside, how about that? You might as well be inside, hanging out with us at our looms. That's your sign. Welcome, first timer. That is awesome. I love this first timers. Yes. Hi, Sharon. She says, you help me decide where to spend my pin money this month. The Weave Along will be fun. Yay, Sharon. That's exciting. Oh, that is wonderful. I like that. Let's see. There we go. Oh, no, I think we're okay. Sue Ann says, worried about the phone number thing. No. I think as long as I don't think you have to include a phone number and address for international. You guys, if you mail things internationally, let us know for sure. Is that critical that you have a phone number on there or an email? Let us know. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, let's see. Okay, my friends. So, what do we have to talk about? So many things. First of all, you're in for a treat today because I brought back the amazing Michele Marshall, and we're going to talk Weave Along projects. I was thinking about the timing. I thought, this is the week we should bring on the lovely and fabulous Michele, and we'll get a chance to talk about the April Weave Along project, both the multi-shaft and the rigid heddle versions. We can kind of compare notes. So it's going to be a very fun conversation. Sit tight. It is coming very soon. So that is the good time that is ahead of you. Okay. So how was your weekend, by the way? I know it seems like the weekend was very far away. However, I just wanted to share something. I was in Indianapolis area visiting my brother and his family, and it's probably me, but I love to go. There's an international grocery store there called Saraga's. And Saraga's was like an old jewel. So it is huge. It is the biggest international grocery store I've ever seen. Maybe some of you have better ones, but lucky you. Yay. But every time we go to Indianapolis, we have to go to the international grocery store. So we go to the international grocery store. And one of the things that I always look for, and you will not be surprised, is that once upon a time, I found hard candy that tastes like iced tea. Yep. I swear. But this grocery store moves things around. It feels like on a weekly basis. Like every time I go, it's in a different spot. I can't find it. All the things. So happy day. Last Saturday, when we went to the international grocery store, I found they actually organized things. So there's like an aisle of all these candies. Are you ready? Here it is. Here we go. Look at this. Okay, look how fun this is. It honestly tastes like iced tea, but it's hard candy. It is crazy. So I found this version. Look at this, citrus green, which is really nice, kind of a, citrusy, lemon lime, kind of whatever. And my friend Sherry, I don't think Sherry's on yet, but Sherry introduced me to this one. So good. It's almost like caramely. Okay, so for my tea lovers in the crowd, if you ever get a chance, try these, dude. This is not sponsored. However, I was just so excited because I look for them every time, and I find about half the time, maybe, but they were all in one spot, like waiting for me, calling me. Chris, here is your tea candy. Don't you love it when life works like that? It's to balance out days like today. That's what happens. Okay. So I just wanted to share my big find, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. It is, Carol. It's, what is it? Valley's Best is what the kind is. I think you can get it other places. But Jungle Gyms. Yes, I've been to Jungle Gyms. Yes. That's Cincinnati, right? Is that right? In Ohio. Yes. There we go. I love that. Tea candy. I know. But Emily asked, does it have caffeine? Oh, that's a good question. You guys always ask me all the good questions. Let's see if it says. I don't know. How is that for an answer? It does not. If it does, it doesn't make it clear. How's that? It says, yeah. No, I don't know. I'm not very helpful there. I'm sorry. So, anyways. Yeah, right? Tea and coffee can. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Carrie had information about international mailing. She says, it's best to add contact details for a recipient as customs calls directly in order to clarify clearance of incoming goods. My daughter-in-law tried to send me tea towels and chocolate. Let me ask you this, Carrie, since we're talking about international mailing stuff. Are there times when you need to pay for some of the, like the customs part of it? I have a friend, well, Dinah, you guys know Dinah. She's my seamstress, and one of my seamstresses, and she's British, and she has sent packages to the UK, but then the people that she sends them to gets charged, like they have to pay for. I don't know. I'm always confused by those things. So, hello, Robert from London, England. Welcome. See, you can probably tell us about international mailing stuff. Yeah. Uh-huh. Emily. I can understand that. Here's my guess, folks. If there's caffeine in the black version, like the black tea version, I'm guessing is so small, it's not going to keep you up at night. That's what I would guess. Oh, there we go. Ooh, Sue-Ann says she has lots of international grocery stores in Seattle. See? That'll be very fun. As I've gotten older, I'm much more of a foodie these days. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Sam says if it's sent by a courier company, they will charge a brokerage fee. If sent United States Postal System, they don't do that. Oh, interesting. Oh, so it depends on who you're used to send it. Okay. Carol says some countries you pay for the goods, not if they're gifts or at a certain price point. Okay. It's confusing. It changes for every country. That is confusing. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. Carrie says, yes, she had to pay. The something package would have cost something to clear customs. I refused. Oh, interesting. Wow. Oh, Sue-Ann, I'm so sorry. I missed it. Let's see. What country is this from? She asked. This says Fusion Gourmet is a minority and women-owned organization committed to the well-being of women and children around the world. Does it say where it's made though? Indonesia. That's what it says. It says it's from Indonesia. There we go. So that was my little 2 cents on finding delicious tea candies. Yes. Kathy. Oh, hi, Kathy. She says you can get it on Amazon. Oh, look at you. I'm not surprised. Amazon has all the things. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Excellent. All right. So how are you? What is happening in your side of the world? How are your projects? Just send it all my way. How are things going? I'll be honest. I have my floor room is still empty. It's been a little busy over here. just a little bit, because we've had this thing called the April Weave Along that launched this week. It's just a little. Let's just say that at the end of the day, I fall into bed exhausted. Here's what I've learned, folks, is that you can be grateful and completely exhausted at the same time. Those two things can exist simultaneously. I am trying to learn to delegate. Mm-hmm. That's part of my goal, is to be a better delegator. And delegator, is that a word? It doesn't matter. That's part of the plan here, friends, is that for me not to be so exhausted. I can still be grateful, but have people to help me for this. So this is we're working on it. Lori is helping me. She is cheering me on. She's being my coach. We're doing all the good things. Okay. Carol says, looking forward to the April Weave Along. You and me both, Carol. It's gonna be great fun. I promise. Oh, this is Priscilla. I pressed the wrong thing. We cleaned out the attic of my husband's grandparents' home we bought almost 9 years ago. What? Okay, Priscilla, was that a huge undertaking? Anytime I hear we cleared out the attic, that seems like a huge undertaking. And did you find good treasures? Mm-hmm. That's what I would hope for. Yes. Pardon me. Let's see. Emily says, I'm measuring 800 threads of 8-2 cotton warp and loving it. Woohoo! Hi, Ernie. We made a whole road trip once by hitting every Dutch import store that we could find. Okay, that sounds fun. There are several in Southern Ontario and New York. I like this idea of having a theme for a road trip, though. Like if you're gonna stop at certain restaurants or grocery stores or whatever, that's fun, Ernie. I like that. I like it. Yes. Gemma says she needs to get on her loom and clear the shadow weave. You got time. You're all good. Hello, Kaylin. That's pretty. I love how you spelled that. Watching from work, ready for the weave along. Just got my table loom set up last night. You know what? If your boss comes in, just to tell him Chris said that you have permission to take a break from your day and enjoy a little time with us. That's all. Think that'll fly? Maybe. Kathy says, "Oh, here we go. Oh, we're moving. Maybe things aren't. I'm pressing things. They're not working. Oh, there we go. Okay." This is true to form, folks. Kathy says, "Finally finished the fabric for my sweater. Of course, we'll have to make another because I don't have enough." Yeah. See, Kathy gets it. This is yeah. That's how my day is going. Jennifer finished a 1950s skirt and caplet. Is it caplet or capelet, my friend? Caplet. I like that. It is very cool. Jennifer's been sending me a couple photos of what she's been sewing, her vintage stuff. It is gorgeous. So fun. Connie's hemming towels originated from the lovely striped twill that I had several weeks ago. Oh, nice. That is awesome. You're almost done. That's fantastic. Cindy's loading another dark towel. Every other hobby I use brights, even neons, but you're liking the darker towels. This is Cindy, you're the one with the joke towel. Is that right? That was part of what we started with the dark towels so that we felt safe to use them so we wouldn't mess up the nice bright towel. Yep. Yeah, Emily, if you are waiting for your floor to be installed, I can see how a lot of things would be on hold. We are sending you good renovation vibes, though, friend, so that floor goes in quicker than you think and better than you expected. That's what we're hoping. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Priscilla, who cleaned up the attic. I'm on day 3 and found a ton of fabric. Oh, is able to gift to a couple of sewing groups, plus lots of trips to Goodwill. I can imagine lots of trips to Goodwill if you're cleaning out an attic. Lori says, my big floor loom is still naked. I'll be warping this evening for doing hand towels. Looking forward to the weave along. And just received a Louette Erica for it. Did it come, Lori? That's awesome. Everyone, yay to Lori, a new Louette Erica. How exciting is that? Okay, anytime someone gets a new loom, and it could be like new to you or brand new, it doesn't matter. A new loom comes into the family. That is big. That is huge, huge cause for celebration, right? Dawn says, I've decided I would like to do a scarf for the weave along. Perfect. He decided on which undulating twill to try. Was browsing Strickler last night. Okay, so Dawn, I'm glad you mentioned that because I happen to be looking. I will be honest. I created my version of the undulating twill pattern, the draft, through kind of an amalgamation of a whole bunch of things. However, you know how I love me some Ann Dixon. She does have like 4 pages of undulating twill in here. There's all kinds of, let's see, what is it? Page 198 is where it starts. She has options for undulating twill. If you have the book and you want to try something different from what the official project looks like, go for it. Those are pretty. So yes, there's lots of versions of undulating twill for you to play with. So don't be shy about trying something else for sure. Yeah, Jody Ibarra knows this better than anyone else. That is for sure. We compare notes. Hello, Jody Ward. Good morning. Dressing the table loom with A2 cotton for dish towels. Planning the April weave along to put on the floor loom. Woohoo! That is fantastic. Yes, Gemma, I love this. Gemma has done some undulating twill before. It'll be nice not to have to think so hard. You know, there is something to that, right? There's something to coming back to a pattern that's familiar and comfy, and you don't have to extend yourself so hard. Gemma, I see you for sure. Yep. Hello, Ellen. Looking forward to the weave along. Weaving fabric for Ruana. Ooh, I hope. What does that mean, my friend? I am guessing. I know you. If it's for a Ruana, you'll make it work. That is for sure. Emily says we're camping out. All the furniture is stored in the living room. That's wow. You just hope that those moments don't last too long. You just hope that that's, yeah. Jennifer says she's trying to decide what to make for the weave along. Woohoo! Yes. And hi, Anne in Cyprus. Still weaving the towels for my granddaughter. Okay, 1 done, 2 more to go. I've had some tension problems, but hopefully working through them now. Boy, okay, so if you guys have tension problems, do you have a certain kind of go-to? How do you fix your tension problems when they come up? I'll be honest, I typically ignore mine. That sounds wrong, doesn't it? I typically ignore my tension issues. That sounds funny, doesn't it? But I do. Here's what I found is that with my kind of particular method of dressing the loom, those tension issues are usually short-lived. So I just keep going. I'm annoyed for a moment and I just keep weaving. But you guys, if you have other suggestions for how to deal with tension issues, we're game. Lay it on us. Share with the class. We would love that. Oh, let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I go too fast with the book, you guys? I'm sorry. This is Ann Dixon's book. Ann Dixon, Hand Weaver's Pattern Directory. If you are on a multi-shaft loom, 4-shaft, 8-shaft, whatever, and you, especially for a 4-shaft, if you want a suggestion for a book, start here. This is the book. This is the book, friends. It's beautiful. It's clear. It gives you lots of ideas. It's, yes, at page 198. 198 through, it's like 4 pages, friends. I can't do that and look graceful at the same time. It's just not going to happen. Yeah. So, yes. Yeah, it's a great, that's my recommendation for folks. Lillian says, sewing for the next few days, finishing up the white on white vest and my granddaughter's red poncho. Also weaving off the last of the red warp so I can start the April Weave Along warp. You are busy, Lillian. I love that. Hello, Cynthia Campbell. We're so glad you're here. We were hoping you would join us. That is awesome. You'll see. Christy Lofton is here. The boss is out this morning. Christy's at work. Don't tell anybody. We're so glad you're here. Yay. That is awesome. Oh, see, look at this. Lillian says she just got Tom Knisley's Huck lace weaving pattern. The setup of the book is similar to Dixon. That's perfect. That is awesome. Yes, Gemma says she need to learn weaving terms in Albanian. I have no one to help you with that, Gemma. I'm so sorry. Anyone in the group? Anyone in the class? Of the almost 50 of us, anyone know some weaving terms in Albanian? Maybe? Lord, look at everyone joining us live. That's so exciting. Yay. Everyone is here. Okay. So as you think of your projects you want to share what you're working on, keep putting those in the comments. But in the meantime, I think it is time that we bring in the fabulous Michele Marshall because we're going to talk April Weave Along projects. Are you ready? Hold on to your hats, everyone. Give a big round of applause to the wonderful Michele Marshall. Michele, who is in a gymnasium. She's joining us. She's keeping it real. This is, yes.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, so explain where you are, just for friends that might be confused. Why you're in a gymnasium.
So it's actually, I think, technically a community center.
Okay, that's better.
I'm at a Christian camp. It's a church camp.
Nice.
And we're having a crafters weekend. So there's about 10 of us down here that get together about 3 or 4 times a year and do whatever. So last year, I think at this time I was it was last September I was frantically working on the shadow weave. And I was here. So it's like everybody else is scrapbooking and paper and this. And I'm over here like frantically throwing shadows, trying to figure out what to do. Taking pictures, trying to get good lighting, in a space that has like the lights are 50 feet above my head, right?
50 feet,
so,
yes.
What do you do?
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, so it's a good time. It's a good time.
It is funny how we tend to like the weave alongs at the camp just go together. I don't know what
they do. It's almost like the camp and then the weave along, the camp and the weave along.
They're tied.
If I'm not caught up, I have a moment there where I might catch it. So anyway.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Because I figured that since we announced all of the April Weave Along goodies, this was a perfect time for us to kind of chat about the projects and kind of how they're similar and how they're different. I think that would just be awesome. Now, what you'll find, folks, and just in case you're all new to all of this, is that I created the pattern, but as you know, I am a 4-shaft weaver, multi-shaft weaver, so I wrote it all for that style of loom. So last year, I guess, almost a year ago now, we partnered up. I had the brilliant idea. I'm going to give myself all the credit. I was like, Michele, you need to work with me. So I brought in Michele and I said, Michele, I have some fabulous rigid heddle weavers and I know nothing about rigid heddle. Would you please translate? So what happened then is that I gave Michele the April Weave Along project and I was like, please work your magic and make it, feasible for rigid heddle. And you did the version in blue, right?
For the weave along this year, yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, I've got it right here. I brought it.
Please.
So anyway.
Yeah, let's see it.
Ta-da! Ta-da! I should have hung it behind me, but I don't have any way to stick anything into the walls here. So it's 55 inches and I'm 50, I'm like 60 inches tall. So it's like, whatever here.
It's so pretty.
It is pretty.
So
I love the blue. I'm kind of glad I got the blue. Although
Nice.
I did my class in January, and it was a 3-shaft project, and we did almost these same blues. So I'm ready for new colors.
You're ready for new colors.
I'm
Okay,
ready for
fair
new
enough.
colors. So
That
next
is
time,
awesome.
next time I get the purple option. All right, just saying.
Yeah. We'll
Okay,
work
made
on
that public now.
right. She's like, let it be known next
Yeah.
time I get purple. Because if you guys haven't, you've probably seen, I've had pictures everywhere, but this is the green option, right? So what we decided to do is that, we work with Jody at Cotton Clouds. Yay, Jody. And Jody had the brilliant idea. Was it, I forget if it was just October last year or a couple times ago, that she's like, why don't I offer some different color options beyond just the one that I created? So this time we thought we'll be smart and actually weave it up in a couple different color options so people can see what it looks like. So the green, Michele has, I point the other direction, Michele there has the blue, and then there's a purple option that's all ready to go. Now, over at Cotton Clouds, you can also kind of mix and match. You can put your own, that's so pretty. Can you get closer? Can you get even closer to the camera? Ooh, there we go. Look at that. Okay, come on. How sexy is that twill? That is just, the curves are so cool.
Sexy is the word. Sexy is the word.
Right?
So
it's just really fun.
Because when Chris sent me the draft and I brought whatever 8-4 I have a little sample in cowtails colors for those of you who would like candy.
Yes, it's totally cowtails colors.
Totally cowtails colors, but still somewhat sexy and very nice for fall. So anyway, I kind of thought I was just like throwing 8-4 into the bag when I went to Florida. And came up with this as my sample. So this is a candle mat. It actually holds a candle. So
a candle mat. I've never heard of such a thing. That's awesome.
It's another thing you can
like a rug,
to leave a square or something
kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of like a mug rug. But I sit it like I have a big island in my kitchen, and then I just set this in the middle. It kind of gives an anchor to that little candle that looks like it's sort of floating out there. That thing. So I like to use samples for that. But this is where Chris and I were playing with what to do on the hems.
Yes.
So this was the twill, or this is the twill hem, and this is the plain weave. I say in quotation marks, right? Yep. So I definitely thought the twill looked better personally. So I advocated twill hems.
Yeah. Well, and that whole conversation that you and I had and how we kind of worked through that, that's what sparked the whole episode of A Handwoven Experience, all about weaving hems. Because I was like, this is not, other people are going to need to know this information, because that is, I think we're so, at least for me, I was so programmed to think of hems have to be in plain weave. And depending on your pattern, that's not always a good idea. So so we decided to go with the twill for that. By the way, Jody Ibarra popped in and she said she was thinking about adding a brown option. Let me know what you think about this. Something neutral-ish. So everyone in the comments weigh in and say yay or nay for Jody and a brown option.
Jody,
by the way, Jody will do whatever you need.
If you did the tan instead of the orange and then use natural to weave it, that would probably be pretty subtle and very pretty.
Very pretty,
so,
yes. Yeah,
and less like a candy wrapper.
It really is. The stripes, the whole thing works that way.
Well, the reason I have those is because my dad used to have a plaid flannel shirt he wore, and we called it his cowtail shirt because my daughter worked at a store that sold old-fashioned candies. So she saw it the first time she saw it. She went, "Oh, your dad has, or Papa has a cowtail shirt." So I intended to warp up some of this 8-4 in the brown and orange, and then weave strips of his shirt as the weft. I haven't gotten to that project yet, but I still have the 8-4 in the stash.
Yes.
So
you're ready to go. Yes. Yeah. So for our friends in the audience that do rigid heddle, can you kind of walk through what equipment they'll need for the rigid heddle version?
Okay. And this is
it's all written down, by the way.
It's all written down, right?
But I thought that you could kind of explain some of that for us.
It's kind of unusual because normally when we do 2 heddles on the rigid heddle to increase our sets, we're looking for 20 or something. And Chris asked for 16, and my first thought was,
I like to challenge you.
You like to challenge me. I'm like, well, I can. Oh, so my first thought was, okay, well, I can't even do 16 because I use an Ashford. So Ashford looms are metric. Shacked and everybody else tends to be English. So I have a 7.5 dent heddle. So you double that and you get 15. So I'm already one off, but obviously that's immaterial. It works. And so you'll need 2 7.5 or 8 dent heddles and a heddle rod and a pickup stick, because I made this for people who had the least amount of equipment possible. There's a new trend out there now to throw a second heddle block or a third heddle block on your rigid heddle and have 3 heddles.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, at that point, I'm just going to go buy a table loom and be done with it.
Go get a 4-shaft loom.
Go get a 4-shaft loom. I mean, not that I criticize that. I mean, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. It's not a cheap operation, and it also doesn't work on all looms. So, like, I wouldn't think it won't fit on my 2 smaller looms. Won't take that third heddle block. So, and yeah, I can still do 4-shaft projects on them if I don't go there. So I just have to use the heddle rod. And if you're doing it on a narrower loom, like a samplet or something like that, I use my pickup stick. I don't use the pre-purchased ones. Okay. I pick a yardstick and cut it so that it fits between the side arms of the frame. Clever. So when I push it to the back beam, I'm pushing it onto the back beam, and that gives me enough room to actually maneuver everything. So if you're going to use a smaller loom, you just kind of need to kind of make some adjustments that way.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Well, and what folks should know too is that for both of the multi-shaft and the rigid heddle, there's a PDF, the instructions.
Oh yeah, a PDF now. Yes.
PDF. There's written instructions, but then there's also, we both did a set of video tips, and Michelle's are awesome. Like if you want to do the rigid heddle and you're like a visual learner, you guys get the video tips. She walks you through step by step. I mean, it is like an hour and 10 minutes of video tips. I mean, she's thorough. She is like, I am going to hold your hand in this project. It is amazing. It is so good. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it's the kind of thing you need to know, like, how do you do the threading? Because those are the things that really people stumble with the rigid heddle. And the threading for this isn't difficult, but like yours, you were talking yesterday or the other day about the undulating twill and the weekly newsletter, which hand woven experience. Thank you. I had to pull that up out of my head.
Yeah. No, gold star for you.
Yeah. There you go. So, we do the same sort of thing, but unlike you, we can't just like thread 2 in the first shaft, 2 in the second shaft, 2 in the third shaft, and have it work out. We have to use different threading patterns. Yeah. So we do something called double threading for the dark navy stripes, where we're using the single 8-2, and then I'm actually doing the same threading in the next section, but I'm doubling the 8. Or I said 8-2, I meant 8-4. I'm doubling the 8-4 in the lighter stripes. I don't know if you can see that on here or not. But these are the singles, these are the doubles. So we're not really threading it. We're just threading it at a different set, but we're using the same heddle.
Yeah. So no, that's good.
But the cool thing is that you and I get the same exact fabric when we're done.
It looks exactly the same. Exactly the same.
It's the same set. It's the same drape. It's
scale.
Yeah. You couldn't, if I handed this to you, you probably couldn't look at it and say, oh yeah, you wove that on, rigid heddle versus a shafted loom.
Yeah, you wouldn't know. Now, I know I had someone, and I don't think it was in here. I think it may have been in the group. Someone asked about 8-2. What kind of set would you recommend for an 8-2 for this? Because we made the set a little closer than normal.
Yeah.
For this kind of yarn.
Well, I don't. So I'm trying to think about, like, I thought about that the other night. I'm like, if you're going to do 16 for this, I don't know. I'd probably do 12 and a half or 12 and a half. And just
you'd have doubled then.
You'd end up with a set of about 24 for the 8-2. And isn't that what's recommended for 12 for 8-2? Help me with that.
I think so.
Yeah. So I'd probably do, I mean, the threading would essentially be the same.
Right.
You would just have narrower stripes. They'd be, probably about 2/3 of this. So.
Yeah. Well, and one of the things that I pointed out a couple times in my kind of side of things, I was like, there's a reason why I picked 16. It is good math. It is good, like, because of the single versus the double. You're constantly doing a single versus a double kind of idea,
right.
And the 16 just works because the first time I did it, I should have brought it with me, but the first time I did it, I set it at 12 ends per inch, and it was really wonky. And not just the math, but the spacing wasn't right. For me, at least. Like, I want it to look a certain way, and,
right?
And I redid the whole thing at a tighter set because that was. You know what? Lori popped in with a question for us. She says, how would it be with fewer stripes? Wondering if the curves would show up more with more solid color in the middle.
Oh, it would show up great on just a solid. I don't think it would, or even narrow.
You don't have to do the stripes. Friends.
No. You
don't have to do the stripes.
No, the stripes are kind of cool. Though. I like the way that when we do the stripes, because of the fact that we've changed the set literally changes between the colors.
Yeah.
So the lighter blues kind of go, wow, and the darker blues kind of go, So. And yes, I can make those sound effects available to anyone who wants to.
I was gonna say, we made
wow.
Right.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly. We get it. That was
right.
But to your point, that was part of as I was thinking about the project, I was like, what if every time there was a really dark stripe, it was this threading and it was a lighter stripe? So I did that intentionally, but you don't have to have stripes at all, friends.
It
You can
makes
have
it a
lesser
lot
stripes, you
easier.
can have more. Yeah.
It makes it a lot easier to remember what you're threading, because if I'm in the Navy, I'm doing this threading, and if I'm in the royal blue or whatever color, I think this is, oh, Jody's gonna have to tell me. I think it's blue 50. I can't remember. Oh no, we're doing Macefield color, so I forget blue. It's a blue. So anyway, it's a blue. I have trouble with my blue colors because they just shift between the different names.
Yeah, they really
but
do.
you know that, okay, if I'm on this stripe, I'm doing this threading. If I'm on this stripe, I'm doing that threading. For the rigid heddle people, it was great because I'm like, I only have to really give you 2 different paths, and you just follow the right one for the right color and just stick with it. So
right. Okay, so Dawn had a comment or a question for us too. She says, I have a third heddle block, but only bought it because I wanted to see how it was going to work. I prefer to just switch to a multi-shaft at that point. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
We know some folks might not. So off I go. Yeah. That's kind of your philosophy, right, Dawn? Or right, Michelle?
Kind of. I mean, I understand it. The problem I have though now is I'm writing patterns for people. It's like, all right, so when you add that third shaft, you actually eliminate the need for some of the extras, and you change everything about how we manipulate our heddles.
The whole motion's different.
Everything is different. So like for this, everything is a lift. In other words, I'm never putting my heddles in the down position.
Okay.
I'm always lifting either the heddles or the heddle rod or the pickup stick. I'm not ever using the possibility that the rigid heddle has of doing down as well, right?
Yeah.
But when you add that third heddle in there, you can start doing, like your shafts change. You can put things, you can isolate, like say the 1-4 by putting down the 2-3. So you have to think in the dynamics of what actually creates the shed you want.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, so now do I need to start writing addendums to every pattern for people who use shafts?
Right.
Or do you kind of hope that if they're doing that, they kind of know what they're getting into and that they're going to have to make those adjustments for themselves? Yes. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. But if anyone wants to do it with 3 shafts, I can certainly help you figure out how the lifts would work, because they won't all be lifts, they'll be lifts and lowers. So,
see, I feel like my brains are oozing out of my ears just thinking about all of that. I don't know how you keep that all straight. That is nuts.
Well, these kind of rabbit holes keep my brain from swirling down other drains. So this is a good thing.
Yeah, there we go. Mm-hmm. You're welcome, Michelle. There we go. Yes. Yeah. See, here's why it's nice to have Jody on the line. She says,
right,
navy and royal, navy and royal colors. Yeah.
There you go.
And that is the other thing too. As circle back to our conversation about colors, is that what's fun about this, folks, is that I picked 4 colors that were all kind of the same family. You don't have to. I think it's been so fun to see some of the ideas people have had about how they want to do it. Godspeed, whatever you want to do.
I love the blue-yellow combo that somebody posted in the group. Yeah, right? Yeah. Somebody mentioned it here in the comments, but I can't see who it was.
Yep. Absolutely.
Anyway, so
yes.
That was going to be pretty. All I could think of was Swedish flag, and anyway.
Yeah. Here we go. Here's a comment from Ernie. He said he got his Louet David because I wanted to do twills, but I couldn't get my head wrapped around using multiple heddles on the rigid heddle. It has an aversion to pickup sticks. Well, that starts to limit things then, Ernie.
Yeah, right. I need to hear more about the aversion to pickup sticks. Right. Pickup sticks are like second nature at this point. But
do you break out in hives? What is this? Is this like have to go take a Tums? What does that mean in a version?
If he's traveling with his looms, though, it's going to be hard to travel with something that isn't permanently attached into your project.
You have to lock it down somehow. You have to
right.
Yes.
Yeah. So it was
and Ernie has it down to a science. Trust me when I say I've seen his setup. It is he's got a place for everything. So maybe there just isn't a place for pickup sticks yet. I don't know. Yes.
It was Carrie that had the yellow and blue.
Oh, sorry. See, I'm picking the wrong one. Here was Carrie. It was Carrie who had the blue and yellow.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty.
Fire stash.
It's going to be so
really pretty. Yeah. See, Connie's like she doesn't like the pickup sticks either, but Dawn's all for it, but less enthusiastic about heddle rods. Interesting.
Okay.
See, you know what? I think it's okay. Here's what we should do, Michelle. At some point, you and I need to make a video about the 2 of us and just be like 4 shaft versus like a rigid heddle, and just talk about vocabulary and functionality. I think that would be so helpful because like for me, there are times that Michelle starts talking and I'm like, I have no idea what she's talking about. I gotta be honest. I know that I'm supposed to be, grand poobah, whatever. I was like, I have no clue what she's talking about. So that would be very helpful, I think, for the entire world to be like, let's compare these 2 types of looms, and how you talk about them and the functionality, because I think that they always seem to be very similar, but in a lot of ways they're very different. So I think that'd be very helpful. We'll do that.
They are. There's similarities and there's differences. And it was interesting. I was recently doing some rigid heddle history research and discovered
Ooh.
that read
cool.
the Fall Little Looms. It's an article that they're going to do. So and they one of the things I found out was that like the heddle rods with the string heddles isn't. I always kind of thought, well, this is kind of a janky way to do this, but it works. And I'm all about, okay, if it works and I can make it work for me, I'm going to do that. But I was realizing that apparently in the Americas, so, North America, South America, the indigenous people were using heddle rods with string heddles of different types. I'm sure they weren't exactly like what we do now. And that's what they used before they were introduced to the rigid heddle, which they think was brought over to the New World through colonization. So, yeah.
That is so cool.
So we aren't like just doing this janky thing from the hardware store because we don't have the money.
Right.
We're doing something that fits into that long, great history of, so, yeah. So, yeah, Lillian, we can't use 2 pickup sticks. It doesn't work when they aren't used. They can't shift across each other. This pattern doesn't work that way. I know it took me a long time to figure out when can I use.
This was Lillian's comment. Yeah.
When can I use a heddle rod, or when do I have to use a heddle rod? So, but it's not too bad. There's a couple of tips. A little plug here. My next newsletter, which I do on Substack, it's called Mingo's Musings. Yeah. I'm going to talk about how to make string heddles, and I'm going to break the convention because I think most people tell you to make them too long. And I think that's why they're fussy for people, because they're so long. They're just like flopping all over the place. And so I make mine like 2.5 inches shorter than everybody else.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And I have found like this happy medium between too short and too long. And I don't struggle with them nearly as much as I used to. So it's kind of helpful. And, the other tip is use a really sturdy dowel rod. Don't get the little... Don't we all have those eeky dinky ones, in our stash that come from God knows where, and they just seem to multiply in the closet?
Yes.
Those will bow, and that's going to give you grief. So I have a 1/2 inch dowel rod.
Yeah, that is awesome. By the way, I apologize. I don't have your information at the handy, but tell people where they can find you.
Okay. I'm on Facebook at Mingo's Corner, and I'm on Substack at Mingo's Musings because it's got to be something writerly, right? And I'm on Etsy at Mingo's Corner Shop.
Excellent. And Michele is going to hang with us through the entire April Weave Long process. She's our official rigid heddle consultant. So when you join the group, the Facebook group that opens on Monday, Michele will be right there in the front line, ready to help if anyone has questions or needs assistance with any of that. This was great. Thank you so much.
For,
joining us today.
It's been fun. I like this project. Of all the ones we've done, this is my favorite so far.
Yeah. Excellent.
So, including the ones we were doing before I was actually officially participating with you.
Right. Okay. So, excellent. Before all of the ones.
All the ones I've done. I think my first one was the waffle weave.
Oh, nice.
So, and I did Jody's pattern for that because I was like, well, we have a waffle weave. And
there we go. Right? We can modify this. Well, this is number 7. I think this is our 7th weave along.
So I joined in on the 4th one, I guess.
Yes.
I missed the first few.
Excellent. See? Look at that. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So excellent. Everyone say thank you to Michele for coming and joining us today and giving us a little insight into the project.
Looking at a quick comment here, let me respond to somebody.
Sure.
So Anne Marie was asking, how do I get more space in the shed for the string heddle? If you're using string heddles, you get a bigger space if you use shorter strings. That's what I figured out, because
that's what ties back to your topic. Yeah.
Ties back to my topic. So when you lift, you don't have to lift as high, but you can get the shorter the string, the more you can actually just lift it straight up, and it just makes a better shed. So give that a try. And otherwise, there's the old trick of sticking something in your down shed and pushing it back to your back beam to just kind of clear things up. So I have a project on my loom right now that has a little bit of some twist. You've seen newbies do that thing where they put the peg on, they're doing a direct warp for the rigid heddle, and they put their peg like on the front of the table, and then they put so much tension on it flips off. Well, I know better than that. I put my peg on the back side of the table. The peg literally, I guess the humidity had changed between when I started and finished, and the peg had loosened. It wasn't tight in the hole anymore. Yeah, the whole the clamp held. The pig went flying.
The pig went
And
flying.
so I had, and I was doing shadow weave. So I had white, dark, white, dark, white, dark. And then I changed colors. So I'm like, oh, you have to be kidding. So yeah, this week I'm going to be playing with tension. So if I have problems and I learn anything new, I'll let you know. But
Please.
I already know it's like toward the end, this is going to be just a real joy.
This
So
is that's gonna be more fun than you anticipated.
it
That's
always more fun than I anticipated, you know. And by the way, there's an hour of my life that's now gone. Well, I tried to twist all this mess and
right?
I should have just cut it off. Like Steve said, honey, it's just thread.
It's just
And I'm like,
Steve, the voice of logic. What?
I
See,
know,
we don't always need that. Come on, Steve.
I know. So anyway,
All
yeah.
right, my friend. Thank
All
you
right.
so
Well,
much
thank
for
you.
joining us. Yes,
And,
Michele will be
we'll see you
around.
all
You have plenty of
along.
opportunities to say hi to Michele in the Facebook group here coming up. All right. Thank
Right.
you, sweetheart. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Take care.
Uh-huh. Isn't she cool? She's just the best. I you know, it's not every day that I make really good decisions. I'll be honest. However, the day that I was like, oh, this Michele Marshall woman, she needs to, I need to bring her in for the weave alongs. Boy, that was stroke of genius. Who knew? And I don't know if you guys know this, but we lived like 5 hours apart, 4.5 hours apart. She's in Indiana too. She's another Indiana weaver. Go Hoosiers. See, it's all, we love the kismet. Did you see? Carrie says, but will Steve let you buy more replacement yarn? See, bring that back to the boss. See what he says there. That's yes. Okay, friends. I say we finish up strong, shall we? First of all, I just wanted to pop in and say, yes, there were some folks who are like, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Whatever. Let's bring in more. If you have friends that you think would enjoy Live at the Loom, invite them. This is the more the merrier, I say. I think it's such a valuable time and place for us being mostly solo artists, right? I think it's so important and fun for us to get together. So if you have people who might enjoy this, bring them in. Yes, you're exactly right, Sam. I'm so sorry. I said that weird. Men don't let us buy stuff. You're exactly right, Sam. Thank you. We are independent people. We don't need permission. You're exactly right. So yes. So hit the like, hit the subscribe button, bring friends, all of those good things. Here's what's coming up. First of all, I want to mention for my Acting Creative Insiders that tonight is the small group Zoom chat. It is coming up at 7 p.m. Central Time tonight, and you can join us. Everyone at the Rug Shuttle tier and up gets to join us. And last night I released the free copy of the multi-shaft instructions for the April Weave Along. Everyone at the $10 a month and up gets a free copy of the multi-shaft instructions for the weave along. So those are all very, very good reasons to join us at the Acton Creative Insiders, right? It's a very fun place to be. Plus there's always lots of extras and bloopers, and there were some good bloopers yesterday. It happens. I love the bloopers, so I always include them for my Acton Creative Insiders. Okay, all of this goodness, this whole lovely, fabulous community, we have a spot over on Facebook. It's the Acting Creative Community. You can just search for it under the Facebook groups there. And it's certainly never a requirement, of course, but if you do Facebook and you would like to see photos from folks that are part of Live at the Loom, if you want to ask questions, if you want to share your ideas, whatever that looks like, it's this wonderful community. I think we're well over 200 people now in the Facebook group. It is crazy. I had someone, because in the beginning I was not, I just kept thinking the world doesn't need another Facebook group, but the Weavers were very insistent, and they were like, Chris, this is a good idea. We should have an ongoing group. And I was like, okay, we'll try it. And sure enough, of course, it's a fabulous idea. And you guys are brilliant. So I can always admit when I'm wrong. Yes, it's a brilliant idea. Come see us over at the Acting Creative Community Facebook group. That is all. There's all kinds of good stuff waiting for you there. And I didn't even mention it, but this week's episode of A Handwoven Experience is all about undulating twill. Yes, I'm dropping stuff everywhere. This whole how to create this, it's right there. At least ideas. The idea of the episode is to give you kind of the basics for how to create your own version of undulating twill. I don't give you details for this. Go purchase the instructions for that, but it gives you kind of an overview of what makes undulating twill unique and how simple it is for you to recreate it on your own. And then lastly, I will toss this out there. If you aren't yet a subscriber for the weekly love notes, every Wednesday I send you a little story from me. This week it was about siblings. Yeah, and then there's always a link directly to whatever the free content is. So there's always a link to that week's episode of A Handwoven Experience, or to the Weave Along page, which I was not even thinking ahead, friends. Let's see, I don't even have it here. Boy, whew, too tired. So I apologize, but everywhere you see information about the April Weave Along, you'll see a link for the Weave Along central page, where all the links, all the details, Q&A, all the stuff is all there on the Acton Creative. It's on the website on the April Weave Along central page. Okay. Wow. Look at all of this. Okay. So I think we are wrapping it up. Gemma says Monday, Easter Monday, and her son's birthday is coming up. Excellent. Lori, remind me, when does the international folks, when do they change their clocks? Is it before next week or after next week? She'll put it's like the end of the month, isn't it? Right? We talk about the whole clock change. Yes. So watch your clocks, folks, for when live at the loom. Thank you. Thank you so much. She says for the international folks, change your clocks March 31st. That'll be coming up. It's not before next week. We get 2 weeks before that causes mayhem for all of us. Okay. Excellent. All right, friends. Yes. See, Carrie chimed in. See, you guys are very, very knowledgeable. Yes. Okay. So that's all I got. Next Thursday, I'll be right back here. Watch, because the April Weave Along Facebook group is going to open up on Monday. Come join us over there. It's the group is open for about 6 weeks ish, and it is just for this project. That is the whole focus of the group. So you'll see all kinds of things posted there for you. And otherwise, you know what your homework is, right? Do something this week just for you. Boy, I need to take that advice. As soon as I say that, I thought, oh, I need to take my own dang advice. Yes, do something just for you, friends. Not for family, friends, neighbors. Just do something creative. Just a little something to feed your soul, right? Start a project, finish a project, pet your yarn, whatever you're going to do. Think about an April Weave Along project, whatever that looks like. And, be kind to yourself, right? Okay, friends. Next Thursday, let's meet right back here, shall we? It's a date. Put it in your calendar. I will see you very soon. Happy weaving, everyone.